Allow me to reintroduce myself.
You know, this revolution is filled with so many ironies, really. First, you tell us that it is manly to keep your word, right? If you are a man, you keep your word. And now all of the black people in this country are demanding, and even the black people in the whole world are demanding, is that you keep your word. You told us we were free. Well, then show us that we're free. You told us that there is justice, equality for all in this country. Well, then stick to your word and let us see the justice and equality for all. Or else admit to us that you're not a man, you're a worm, you're afraid of us, you're afraid to give us equal stand. You're afraid that if you give us equal ground, that we will match you and we will override you.
Allow me to reintroduce myself.
Y'all want to see a dead body?
Your ass is next.
In my mind. In my mind.
You can kill all the black folks you want to, baby, but you will not kill the freedom of black folks. It's coming. We're going to get it. We fought every one of your damn lousy wars, baby, and you give us nothing. Now the war is going to be here, but we're going to be free. Now you kill you want to, but we kill too.
I'm not gonna sit here and say I'm gonna do something that's only gonna benefit black people. No.
Oh, that line is so famous. It's so famous now. Infamous or famous? I mean, it might be infamous, I guess. What's good, everybody? Anybody that's going to check out the Villager on Deck on Facebook, YouTube. Looks like Twitter just, I don't know, they don't like me. Maybe I got to go redo some stuff. I think I might have actually disconnected Twitter from the feed and didn't put it back properly. I'm not going to blame Twitter just yet. I mean, it's Elon Musk, so I could easily blame him. for a lot of things, but I'm not going to blame him for this. It might not be his fault. So maybe they want me to redo some stuff. I don't know. But I'll see. I wasn't getting that many live views over on Twitter. Whenever I would get feedback, it generally be on the playback. So good afternoon. It's Sunday afternoon. On a live front, you might check this out another day. My brother Tony D, you on the road? Where you heading to? I had to bring this up because I haven't said a whole lot about this blind side thing. But I felt like it was time to, after getting a little bit more information on it and, seeing the back and forth. This cat, Quentin Aaron, he's funny. He's funny. Oh, coming back from a family reunion. Good night. That's nice. That's nice. I thought you might have been off in the Poconos and stuff. I thought you might have been off in the Poconos with your terry cloth bathrobe, walking around late at night. As you was flossing last time you was in the Poconos. So I thought you might have been in the Poconos, brother. But that's a good thing, coming back from a family reunion. That's always a good thing. But no, this guy, Quentin Aaron, who played Mike Oher in The Blind Side, he's been firing back. He's been firing back. And he's actually, it's really weird because it's all Hollywooded up. I got you. Dog. It's Hollywooded. He's like upset because people, I guess, are coming at what's her name? Sandra Bullock. He's mad because people are coming at Sandra Bullock. Let me go on and get a bed in here. And no, I don't want that one. I want this one. I like this loop track. I don't know why I like this track so much, but I like this looping track. I want to do that. Yeah, let's lock it in. So he's been telling people, to lay off Sandra Bullock. I guess she's being blamed for something. But that's the world that we live in. People are actually blaming the actor or actress, for what the real Leanne Tui did. Sandra Bullock only played Leanne Tui, right? She shouldn't be blamed for anything that happened in real life. She's an actress, she's a thespian. She's somebody who basically gets paid to act like somebody real. She is not the real person, but for some reason, people have chosen to put her in the space, of, it's your fault. And it's not her fault. It's not her fault. I'm not here to defend her, but I'm definitely, at least on the side, and I'm not too much on the side of Quentin Aaron because he does have some greasy stuff about Michael Oher, which I didn't like. I didn't like that. But, where he's trying to defend Sandra Bullock, saying everybody needs to back off, he needs to let that go. Those are people that are caught up in a fantasy land. I mean, if you didn't know that Blind Side was a movie and you thought it was a real situation, then you living in a fantasy land. I mean, even though it was supposedly based off of a real story, it still was fictitious in a way, right? It was fictitious in a way. And with it being fictitious in a way, Black Magic Mike, what's going on with you? How you doing? Thumbnail is hilarious. Hey man, I'm getting better with this stuff. I'm not real good with the photoshopping and stuff, but I'm getting better with this stuff. So, appreciate y'all, it adds to the creativity. I'm going to do what I'm going to do and I'm going to say what I'm going to say just based on me. But when you start to add a little bit of imagery to your streams, you get a little bit, more life out of it. So, I'm getting a little bit better as it is. But the main thing for me with this whole Blind Side situation, they can say what they want. They can say that they were conservators, they were the conservator, they went into a conservatorship, but I say it's Conservawhore. They basically use this brother. Let me just be honest with you. This is where I'm at with it, and I'm not gonna go nowhere else with it. They use this brother, okay? And after they did something that can be looked at as a Good Samaritan type situation, they flipped it. And they flipped it for a lot of money. Whether they got money from Hollywood or not, they were able to go out and manifest off of his image. He was the original NIL deal. Let's just talk about it. We know money's been passed around with college athletes for years, but he was really the original NIL deal, and it didn't have nothing to do with the NCAA. It had to do with the Tuohys. The Tuohys basically took Michael Oher and his name, his image, and his likeness, and they made money off of it, whether it have been through the Hollywood movie or not. But she's now some nationally or internationally known public speaker, you know, and she was not that before Big Mike Oher, The Blind Side. She was that after the fact. You know, she might have been known around her area, but she wasn't known to the fact of that she is now. So they indeed manifested off of Michael Oher. So do they owe him money based off of that? Probably so. So I'm not here to debate any of those statistics. I'm just saying that what they did was they used this brother, and they need to pay him. They need to pay him because what's going on, Tria? Because they're in a situation to where they benefited off of his name, image, and likeness, where they wouldn't have been able to benefit had he not went on to have a successful college career, a successful pro career, Super Bowl champion, and really kept them in the fold all those years. You see pictures of them, you know, when he was in the pros, you see pictures of him when he was in college and all that stuff. And it was assumed all this time, I'm gonna go Umar with y'all. It was assumed all this time that he was their adopted son. He was their adopted son. What'd you say, bro? Nearly feel call it white, racial showcasing. Okay. I believe in that. I believe showcasing. Absolutely. I got you. I knew what you meant. I wasn't gonna say skull casing. I knew what you meant. Showcasing, absolutely. So you're in a situation where you find this young brother. He's out there. You know, he doesn't have a home. You know, he's out there on his own, and you bring him into your home. And I want to play actually a trailer. I was gonna play both of them, but I don't think there's a need. But I want to play the trailer to where before I saw the movie. And I've seen this movie probably, I don't know, 30, 40, 50 times, really, because it came out when my kids were still kids. So, you know, back then I was into watching movies like that, The Blind Side, Daddy's Little Girls, all them movies that were like motivational things, you know, Remember the Titans and all that stuff. I was watching all them movies a lot back then with the kids, right? Well, just to think about it. When I heard that they adopted him, I heard it first when I first saw the movie because they called him family. They said they were signing papers to make him part of their family. And I don't know if a lot of people caught it when they said it, but I did catch it. So I want to talk about that, okay? I definitely want to talk about that. That's going to be really the meat of the message today. But I got to get some things out the way. Because we ain't going to be here all day, all night. One of the things that's going on in our area here, we got one situation, you know, we was fighting really hard for this sister, Crystal Harding, a Black educator, 36 years in the paint, who basically was outcasted from her classroom. She's a music teacher. And she was outcasted from her classroom, you know, by the school board, really by the superintendent. And it was a personal thing. It was a personal beef. It was something that she didn't like about Crystal Harding. It wasn't because she couldn't teach well. It wasn't that she had did anything to denigrate the school. It wasn't that she had did anything to compromise the integrity of the school. She didn't do anything illicit with students. But the problem was they didn't like her. And when they didn't like her, they got rid of her. Didn't allow her to come back to the school. She didn't see her students off, you know, and it just made a big stink. I attended several school board meetings, other things, newspapers and TV stations and everything came out. But I guess it's going to end up being with her not going back to the school. And she seems to be good with it. So I'm not fighting that fight no more. Yeah, brother, they not his parents. They are not his parents. They were only his conservators. And I don't know if you've kept up on this situation, but they were his conservators. They were his conservators. They were not his adoptive parents, but they made it seem like they were his adopted parents. And they put it in the movie that they didn't say nothing about no conservativeship in the movie. They said they were signing papers to make him a part of their family. And the one thing that they said in the trailer, because I'm not going to go back through the movie and look at it, in the trailer, They literally call him family. They literally said that they were his parents and he was the big brother and all that stuff. You don't say that if it's a conservatorship. A conservatorship is more like a handshake in print, documented, that you gonna basically take care of somebody and take care of their needs and help them with their financial stuff. But when you say you're gonna bring somebody into the family, that means you adopting them. Now, granted, he was 18 years old, so technically, I guess he couldn't be adopted, but they could have definitely made him a part of the family. They could have definitely brought him into the family. Now, that would have meant other things. That would have meant he gets a part of the will. When they die, he gets a part of the will. He gets a part of the TUI fortune. And hell, they just sold their companies for $200 and some odd million. He'd have got a part of that. Big Mike would have got a part of that. Give me 1 second. I got a couple people tripping. Oh. Yeah, we got some mess going on. So yeah, that's what that was about. But yeah, around here at Ypsilanti, the Ypsilanti school system is really in trouble. Now, we've been talking lately about the Ann Arbor public school system. We've been talking about that lately, okay? But we're gonna talk about the Ypsilanti school system because the Ypsilanti school system is in trouble as well. Dealing with Crystal Harding, you know, that was a big fiasco and that didn't end well. But I've just been finding out about something that they've implemented in these alternative schools around here. And Ypsilanti has one, I think it's called ACE. You know, and you know, I think that's just an acronym for something else. And I forgot to look it up, but it is an acronym for something else. Doesn't really matter. The main thing, because we're going to dig real deep in this, we're going to go deep into some statistics later in the week. They actually got a school board meeting tomorrow. I don't know if I'm going to go to that, but I may just to show up, because I feel like at this point, we need to ride this till the wheels fall off. We've got kids out here registering 0.0 grade point averages, taking expedited learning tools and getting diplomas. She told me about the lady I was talking to told me about a child who just got her high school diploma at age 15. At age 15, they are considering this young lady to be a high school graduate. Age 15. Now, taking into consideration, she is not on that scale to where she was taking advanced placement classes, okay? She is in a school where kids generally attend due to behavioral issues, academic issues, or different. But she got a certification to say she's a high school graduate at 15. She also has siblings that are 17 and 20 respectively. They already have their diplomas and they came out of the same school and they all had the same issues. But they got diplomas that aren't even good as the paper that they're printed on. That's a problem. And if this is what's going to happen with Ypsilanti schools, then we got to talk about that. We got to turn that around. We got a lot of kids coming out of the Ypsilanti school system that are failing. They're graduating, but they failing because those diplomas aren't worth the paper that they're printed on. Now, we've been talking about the statistics of things going on in Ann Arbor Public Schools. And Ann Arbor Public Schools has their own issues right now as they're trying to get rid of their superintendent. The superintendent has done, to me, I would say a mediocre job, okay? Let's take the good with the bad, and we've gotten the ugly. So let's say she's done a mediocre job over 10 years. Well, it's gotten to the point where now she's also let some things happen to where kids have been assaulted and things like that by people that work through the school system or contracted through the school system or whatever, and she ain't done nothing about it. And I know that the situations that have come up all haven't been reported because the one that they talking about ousting her for, that went unreported, undocumented, untalked about. Okay, now we've got a situation where we've got other incidents that have happened and she's never said anything about. Takes me all the way back to the Slauson junior high school kid getting called nigger by the teacher and nobody talked about that. NAACP didn't come out for that. You didn't see no black organizations come out for that. But now it looks like the NAACP wants to come out and cape for the superintendent. Y'all wouldn't come out for a black kid getting called nigger, but you're gonna come out for a white superintendent who's about to be fired for mediocre results. All right, niggas. All right, niggas. I see where y'all at with it. I see where y'all done called the NAACP in with their useless ass in Washington County. That's good, because I plan to be at that school board meeting on Wednesday. I can't wait to talk to the NAACP. Because they coming up to Cape for the white superintendent, but they didn't say nothing about the black children that are being brutalized at Pathways. They ain't say nothing about the black kid being brutalized at Slauson, but you're gonna come up and Cape for the white superintendent. All right. We're gonna have fun with this one. I hope y'all wear y'all black suits. Wear y'all black suits with y'all ties. I want y'all to look just like it's first Sunday. All right? I want y'all to look just like it's first Sunday. Because I'm coming in like this.
Your ass is next.
Yeah, that's the way I'm coming in, just like this.
And your ass is next.
I'm pointing at you, finger pointing at you. I don't know who's even a part of the NAACP anymore. It don't even matter to me who's a part of the NAACP anymore. But the fact that they gonna come out and cape for a superintendent who's done shit against black kids, who basically has let things go unreported about black kids, and when it's time for her ass to go, they want to cape for her, but they didn't come into the defense of the black kids. Okay.
Your ass is next.
Yeah, period. This is where I'm at with it. What'd you say there, Black Magic? I remember that in the trailer. I never saw the movie Too White Savior for Me. They pulled a Miss Millie. Yeah, the NAACP always been. Dude, I had problems with them back in the 90s. I was told to go see the NAACP, and I went and saw the NAACP. They told me to go see the police. I'm like, well, wait a minute. Y'all supposed to help me. Y'all supposed to be my people. Y'all supposed to actually take me to go see the police. Nah, they told me to go call the police. So I ain't had no love for the NAACP for a lot of years. It ain't been no recent shit. They straight up ops, okay? When you look at their mantra, you look at the Congressional Black Caucus's mantra, all they shit is for everybody else. They don't do nothing for colored people. They do stuff for people of color, but they don't do nothing for colored people. It is what it is. It is what it is. So I want to play this trailer, and this is a good time to stop the music right here. Let me go ahead and stop the music real quick. So listen to this trailer. I'm going to play the whole trailer, and you see anywhere where you think that this was more of a business arrangement versus him being brought into the family. Give me one quick second. Da-da-dee, da-da-da. So we're going to go here. Make sure that audio is intact. Bam. Yeah. Get that up there. All right, bet it up. Got that there. Let's add that to the thing. Okay. And just listen, and you tell me if you think that this has something to do with a conservatorship or if it has more to do about him becoming a part of their family.
Up and at 'em. Sean Jr., you clean this room up before you come downstairs, you hear me?
Okay, big smile, Chewy family.
Come and get it, y'all.
Everyone thank your mother for driving to the store and getting this.
Thank you, Mom. Thank you, Mama.
He's been enrolled in 7 different institutions, including a gap of 18 months around the age of 10.
It made him look so
Apparently didn't
bad.
attend school at all.
I tell you, most kids with his background wouldn't come within 200 miles of this place.
Class, this is Mike Orr, and he's new here, so I expect you all to make him feel welcome.
Hi.
Smile at them. It lets them know you're their friend. I'm Sean.
Who is that, SJ?
Big Mike.
What is he wearing? It's below freezing.
Do you have any place to stay tonight? Don't you dare lie to me. Come on.
Was this a bad idea?
What's the big deal? It's just for one night. It is just for one night, right?
Find some time to figure out another bedroom for you.
This is mine?
Yes, sir.
Never had one before.
What, a room to yourself?
Not bad.
What?
It's all really nice what you're doing, but don't be surprised if one day you wake up and he gone.
Michael was here.
Last night. Tell him to sleep with one eye open.
You threatened my son. You threatened me.
You hear that? You threatened my son. You threatened me. Listen to it again.
You threatened me. Threatened my son. You threatened me. My son. You threatened me.
Okay.
Michael's grades have improved enough that he can go out for spring football in March. 1, 2, 3,
This team is your family, Michael. When you look at him, you think of me, how you have my back.
How you have my back, your family. That's the second thing. Now we got one more.
Are you going to protect the family, Michael?
Yes, ma'am.
SJ, you're going to want to get this.
Who's the big guy eating with your little brother?
It's his big brother.
You hear that? Who's the little guy eating with your big brother?
Brother.
It's his big brother.
What?
The big guy eating with your little brother.
It's his big brother.
What? Yeah. Okay.
It's his big brother.
Okay. That's all you need to hear. We can come out of that. We can come out of that. So we all good. So literally, we saw the movie. Well, a lot of us saw the movie. Seeing the trailer, to me, I'm thinking to myself, like, okay, I know what I saw in the movie. It was way more in depth. This was not a conservatorship on site. What they did in the papers might have been a conservatorship, but they made it look like that they adopted this dude. And I don't know anything about whether Michael or her knew or not, or knew what a conservatorship really meant. I don't know. Don't even care at this point. But what they're trying to act like is that they were never a family. They were absolutely a family. And if he was in a diminished capacity, which from what I've learned too, he was not. They made him seem like he was just dumb as a rock. And he was not. Come to find out, he was not. And that hurt his career. That hurt him getting potential endorsements. That hurt him with teams looking at him, because everybody looked at The Blind Side and thought that was him. They didn't think that he was really a smart guy. They didn't think that he could actually manipulate a playbook. They didn't think that he was bright. They just looked at him as Big Dumb Mike. Not Big Mike, Big Dumb Mike. Now, the fact that Mississippi took a chance on him, why do you think that was? That's where the Tuohys went to college. The fact that he excelled at Mississippi and became like one of the top draft picks in the year he came out, that was because he had put in that work. And then he went on and won a Super Bowl and had a great career. Now, with that being said, during the time that he's making his money, they're making their money, not off The Blind Side, but they're making their money off of his name, image, and likeness. So that's what it was. That's literally what it was. And if they didn't give him his fair share, because I got a real problem with one thing that they did, it was real greasy. I felt like, how you gonna cut in your kids on the deal? The deal should have been with the Tuohy family and Michael Oher. It shouldn't have been with Leanne Tuohy, Sean Jr. Tuohy, and then I think her name was Colin. How you going to put your kids in the deal? They all had separate deals. No, the Tuohy should have got some bread, and Michael Oher should have got some bread, and they split their bread up. And it shouldn't have been equal spreads. Everybody got equal shares. You know why? Because it didn't make no difference to them. They rich as fuck. They already rich. So the money that that was a lunch money accounts. Them kids are mega rich. The family just sold their business for $220 million. Just sold their business for, how much money do you think they made before they sold their business for $220? Yeah, you late, Free. I told you when it was, you late. It's the same as the white liberals getting grant money on behalf of our communities and making all situations worse. Anytime you see a university and a community engagement office, here come the poverty pimps. True. We discuss all those things all the time, and I totally get it. And it's no different. This is where people come in. And they are considered, to me, not conservators, conservawhores. Because what you're doing is you're conserving somebody else's situation. You're making somebody else's situation better. You're being fruitful to somebody else's situation. I'm not saying that they wouldn't have made a bunch of money, because they was already making a bunch of money. Look at the house that they lived in. Now, that was the movie. So you can imagine what the real house looked like. That was just the movie house. Just think about what the real house looked like, you know? And in all the power and all the resources and the accesses that they had, they passed it on to Michael Oher. I get it. But when that bread came back way deeper than any money that he made in the NFL. People came to their restaurants and stuff because they were the Blind Side family. So they made way more money off of Michael Oher than Michael Oher cost them. That's what I'm saying. That's where I'm really, I mean, what cooked my grits the most was for them to basically say, oh, no, we never adopted him. It was a conservatorship. But y'all said he was your son. He was calling y'all mom and dad. He was calling SJ and Colin his brother and sister. They didn't say nothing about no conservatorship. Y'all just weren't taking over their shit. Y'all weren't his financial planners. Y'all were his family. The older Tui, the father Tui, said they took his mama to court with them to make sure everything was on the up and up. The only thing that he said about that, where I started to think something was greasy, he said biological mother. I didn't like that shit at all. How you gonna say biological mother? His mama. Say his mama. Don't say his biological mother. You sound like these crazy ass people out here talking about birthing parent. Biological mother? No, that's his mama. Especially if you saying that Leanne Tui's not his mama. It's his mama. Not his stepmama. Not his biological mama. His mama. He was their asset, absolutely. And I'm not saying that they was broke and they needed him, but they used him. He might have not been specifically the meal ticket because they was already eating, bruh. They was already eating. But what he did was he created more generational wealth for them. They already deep. They had bread. So what he did was he extended their generational wealth. He extended all of their privileges. He extended their white privilege, their white saviorism. Absolutely. Definitely a wealth transfer. And it didn't transfer into the Oher bank account. It transferred into the Tui's. So absolutely. It was not a conservatorship. It was a conservawhoreship. That's what it was. That's exactly what it was. So where I am now, like I said, we're going to talk about some things, and we're going to dip back into the whole blindside thing because it's got a lot to do with what's happening right now. It's got a lot to do with what's happening right now. I mean, you've got a white superintendent who has basically ignored. She has ignored Black kids being brutalized in the Ann Arbor public school system. And anybody that want to say that she hasn't, okay, where y'all at? Where y'all at? Y'all want to say that what's her name? Janice Swift, she has not ignored the needs of Black kids in this school system. She's not only ignored them, kids have been brutalized in the school system. Outside of the other isolated incidents, we have Pathways. Pathways High School has been a detrimental space for Black children. Really, for any children going over there. Mostly the kids are Black in that school who come in with behavioral issues, who come in with academic issues, and they're given no way to turn but down. They say that's the last place you go before you go to jail. It's the Pathways to Prison pipeline. For some of these kids, it's been the morgue, unfortunately. Some of these kids ain't even been, I don't know why I'm ever going to say this again, they ain't been fortunate enough to go to the prison. They went to the morgue and they came out of the pathway system. And she's been the leader of that. And she's ignored the detrimental behavior that's happened over at Pathways. That's a problem. She's also ignored the detrimental behaviors that's happened at other schools. You got parents fighting out here for their kids who are being mistreated, you know, and misappropriated that have autism. You know, they ain't talking about that stuff. You got kids out here who have other issues, developmentally disabled issues and whatnot that are being mistreated. You've got kids that are out here that are trans kids, you know, and Ann Arbor is a trans-friendly area. You're not generally going to hear about kids being treated badly in Ann Arbor. But you got to go ask for a bathroom key from somebody who says, you're not a girl. You're not a boy. If the kid is trans, the kid is trans. You're supposed to have a facility for them to be able to go in and use the bathroom safely. It's not up for debate what they are or what they aren't. Ann Arbor Public Schools says they are a trans-friendly school system. So if you don't like that, go find a job that's not in the Ann Arbor Public School system. It's not about your beliefs. It's not about my beliefs. It's not about nobody else's beliefs. That's a problem. Absolutely. I mean, they're talking about firing her. I'm looking at charges. I think there should be some charges. There should be some child neglect charges brought. Forget about the termination. We should be looking at charges. Ethnic intimidation. She absolutely said nothing public about a kid being called nigger repeatedly at Slauson Middle School. And I didn't see the NAACP, the SCLC, the NOI. I didn't see nobody come out. Where was everybody at? Where were the Supreme Felons at? Where was the men like us at? Where was all the black groups that's supposed to do stuff for black kids in Washtenaw County? Where were they at? I was the only person that spoke publicly on that. I was the only person that's went out publicly and spoke on it. Ain't nobody saying shit about that. A black kid in the middle of Ann Arbor gets called nigger repeatedly by a teacher, and nobody said shit. No preachers. Where are the black preachers at? I mean, I know where they at right now. It's Sunday. They counting that bread. They counting that bread. I know they counting that bread right now. They in the room. They in the finance room. They counting all that money up. The coffers was filled up today, I'm sure. What was this, the third Sunday? This is the third Sunday, boy. They had first and third Sunday. You know that bread's coming in. It's the bread's coming. Actually, it might not be the third Sunday. It's only the 20th. So it might only be the second Sunday. Yeah, I don't know how that really works. Uh-oh. We got something else. What do you say? Ann Arbor School's downfall began years ago when she started outsourcing department jobs, like the custodians, cafeteria, and other jobs. Also the buses, yep, other jobs that support the overall school system. Yeah, she took a lot of people out the paint that needed those jobs, that lived in the area, and start outsourcing it. Start outsourcing it. And you know what I saw? You know what I saw when I saw the bus jobs leave, the custodian jobs leave, the cafeteria jobs leave, and other jobs that supported the whole system, as you say, Jay Bird. What I saw the implementation of other people who weren't from here. Now let me have my little rant. Let me have my little rant on it right now, because y'all already know I don't care about who comes here as long as they get their paperwork right. But correct me if I'm wrong. When they started outsourcing all of those jobs, did you not see a heightened increase in Latino custodians or Arabic custodians, Latino cafeteria workers or Arabic cafeteria workers? Did you not see a raise in that? Because you hadn't seen that before. It was mostly people who were from this territory. But when they started outsourcing it, black folks stopped getting them jobs. Them jobs start getting procured by people that were new to the area. I mean, we knew custodians that had been from this territory 50, 60, 70, 80, maybe 100 years. But you don't see that no more. You see people that ain't been in this territory more than 5 years, and they come in making the same wage that somebody that's been here almost 100 years, or at least on a generational level. How is that? That's because the systems change, and the systems changed when Swift came in. But the only thing that she did, Swift, was change the systems. Period. Period. So when we talk about what's going on in the school systems, you always got to go to the core of it. Now, I go to the core of it where that is I know she's at the height, but let's go to where people didn't say nothing when the bus systems changed. They didn't say nothing until they started complaining about it. As soon as Ann Arbor schools gave up the bus systems, there was problems. It wasn't a smooth ride right from the beginning. It ain't never been right. All the way up through last year when they was talking about 2 weeks on, 1 week off. Making parents have to, get their kids to school when you're supposed to have transportation for these kids. All of a sudden, now parents got to find a way or no way. There were literally kids sitting at home because their parents didn't have a way to get their kids to school because they were supposed to have bus transportation, but there wasn't enough buses. That's under Swift's watch. Oh, she done so great here. She done so great here. I can't wait to see all these niggas caping for her. I can't wait. I can't even imagine what you can see when you got kids out here reading at a 25% clip, doing math at a 15% clip. 80% of the kids in the district that are black reading under standard levels? Are you crazy? That's good. Throw in the Latino kids, that brings it down a little bit more. They list them as Hispanic on there. But then when you bring in the white kids and the Asian kids, that brings the stats back up. Now you got 1 out of 2 kids. So I guess they don't look at that as that bad. I want to know, anybody that's caping for Swift, I want to know, what if your kid couldn't read the standard level? Because I'm not putting the onus on the school system, but I'm saying that they passing them through. I put the onus on the parents. The onus is on the parents. Teachers can just teach the product that they're given. I don't expect for them to do no more than what they can do. But if you send a bad product to the schoolhouse, then you probably going to have, at best, a mediocre product when it comes back. But they're not even getting a mediocre product back. They getting a worse off product back. Why? Because the parents ain't doing their damn job. We got parents out here not doing their job. They sending kids to school already failing. And then you put them in a situation where they're going to pass them along, whether they can read, write, or count adequately or not. That's crazy to me. That's nuts. And I'm not liking it, not feeling it. And we're just going to keep moving on it. I understand what they're doing. I get it. But see, where a lot of people don't get it, they don't say nothing. And now you got this chick on the way out the door. All of a sudden, they talking about bringing in the NAACP. Y'all gonna bring in the Fruit of Islam too? Y'all gonna go down to Atlanta and get Andrew Young? Who else you gonna dig up? The NAACP. What's the NAACP gonna do? What does the NAACP even do for Ann Arbor Public Schools besides have that high-ass academic dinner with them dry-ass steaks and them dry green beans and dry potato, everything dry. Only thing moist in there is the water. Yes, I went to them academic dinners because I had an academic. You know, they like putting on a show. NAACP, they like putting on a show, so they have their little academic dinners for the black kids. Yeah, and that's been less and less every year, less and less black kids. You can always tell how black kids are doing when you look at the athletic programs and you look at the arts programs and things like that. I was at the graduation and I don't even know if I saw 5 black kids in the band and orchestra and stuff like that. Where are the black kids at? They don't play no horns no more. They don't play no drums. They don't do none of that stuff no more. How come they're not in that stuff? And like I said, I don't put the onus on the school people. That's the parents. How come y'all not getting y'all kids involved in the arts? That's a problem within itself. You know, build that character. You ain't trying to breed no musician. You trying to build character. But how come y'all not doing that? Appreciate the likes in here. How come y'all not doing that no more? How come everybody just trying to run their kids through an athletic program, thinking they gonna breed the next NFL star, the next NBA star? What's wrong with y'all? Get y'all kid in some life-sustaining situations. Skilled trades. You know, they done took all that stuff out of the schools. I get it. But get your kids involved in some programs outside of the school system. If the school system don't have it, then you need to be getting your kid involved in that shit outside of the school system. That's why I said, you know what, coming back into the fold and dealing with kids and things like that, you know, it wasn't going to be a coaching thing for me. I'll be coaching, but I'm not going to be able to be on the sideline. I'm going to have to be on the front line. I'm going to have to be a part of some things to where kids need to get back in the paint the real way. I can't work with recidivism programs. I don't want to work with recidivism programs, because you know what the big problem with recidivism programs is? They failing when they go to prison and they come back, they coming back better criminals than they are better people. Do y'all even know that they don't even have the Pell Grant programs in the prisons no more the way they used to? People can't go to college in the prisons the way they used to. Now you've got to be approved through post-secondary educational programs for you to be able to qualify. And you better hope that the prison that you're in even has the establishment set up for you to get the education. Because the prison system in general does not have the Pell Grant programs. That's why so many people are going in dumb and coming out dumber. But y'all don't know that. But I guess I got the intel and I got the details. See, y'all like to talk that stupid shit. Y'all act like I don't know these things, like I don't do reading. Oh yeah, I do read, bitch. I read. I ain't no criminal, although I got a criminal record.
Your ass is next.
So, just so you know, your ass is next. But yeah, Ann Arbor Public Schools is tripping. They got an opportunity to start fresh. We could start fresh with a new superintendent once they find one, because it's just going to be another minute. Wait, here's the thing. This is what I really want to happen. Yeah, I want her gone, but this is what I really want to happen. I want her to keep her job, so in 6 months, maybe a year, she be up for another job somewhere. I bet you she out looking for a job right now. She acting like she want to stay because her pride is hurt. But what about all them job interviews you went on? You was a finalist for all these jobs back here just last year. She was up for a superintendent job somewhere else. If she loved Ann Arbor and she was about Ann Arbor kids so much, how come her ass is always in job interviews? But y'all caping for her, right? Y'all trying to keep her in the paint, talking about it's not a good time. School is about to start. Is it ever a good time to fucking fire somebody? Have you ever figured out, is there ever a good time to fire somebody? When you fire somebody, you already know you got to start over. There's never a good time to fire nobody. But just because the school system or school year is about to start, that don't make it a bad time. Start fresh. Start fresh. Get her ass out the paint. You don't need her. She's been hurting this school district for 10 years with her bright ideas and mediocre results. She got a bright idea, mediocre result, bright idea, mediocre result, job interview, bright idea, mediocre result, job interview. That's what she's good for. Get her ass up out of here. Let her go somewhere and sit in front of her computer and fire off resumes in her own free time. She been firing off resumes, getting paid the AAPS money. Y'all do realize during the school day, she probably be looking at jobs. She don't be looking at these jobs after the school day is over, after business hours. She must be talking to people during business hours. Ain't nobody talking about that? She was doing all these job searches and all these interviews off the clock. Come on, man. That's like believing that Jerry Clayton was doing his Cardinal Group business off the clock and he wasn't on WCSO time. He wasn't on county time. He was only counseling people and helping out with policing agencies around the country off the clock. Come on, man. Come on, man. Y'all insult my intelligence now. Y'all really insult my intelligence. Jerry Clayton ran a whole enterprise damn near the whole time he been a sheriff, and ain't nobody said nothing. And when you start to see cracks in the armor, you're like, well, maybe it's because the fucking sheriff ain't been here to be the sheriff. Let's stop guessing. Let's stop guessing. When y'all guess, y'all make me itch. Y'all make me itch. And this Ipsy situation, it ain't no better, man. It ain't no better. I mean, the Crystal Harding situation was detrimental. It was detrimental. So to lose somebody like that, an educator of 30 plus years, A lot of kids said, if it hadn't been for her, I wouldn't have even came to school. To lose somebody like that, that's nuts to me. That's absolutely nuts. You can't work it out with somebody that's been there over 36 years? Okay, that's y'all. I get it. But my thing is, we don't have enough black teachers in the paint right now. So you go on and outs one who basically called shots. Y'all didn't have no heat. Now y'all getting the heater fixed. Y'all didn't have no sound system. Now I hear they're getting a PA system done. All she did was call cats, and now the cats is moving. Y'all didn't like the way she did it. That's what it is. Y'all wanted her to soft shoe. Y'all wanted her to put in requisition orders for a sound system. Y'all wanted her to let you know every week when they didn't have no heat. Y'all wanted her to let you know that her windows was painted shut. They didn't have no AC, so they couldn't open up the windows. No. Y'all wanted somebody not to call y'all out. And she called y'all out, so y'all did what y'all had to do with her. School board ain't shit. Superintendent ain't shit. I don't give a fuck. Because they should have stuck up for her. They should have went against the superintendent and been like, look, we know your difference, Superintendent Zachary Ross. But this lady's been in the school system longer than we've been around. She should probably stay. You need to work out your differences with her, and let's get this passed. Nah, she thought otherwise, and she did otherwise. And that's why Ipsy's school system is going to be hurt for it. They're going to be hurt for this. Now you got other teachers talking about they going to leave the district. How y'all going to replace all these holes? How you replace all these holes? Black, white teachers. It's not just black teachers, white teachers talking about leaving too, because they already see the writing on the wall. It's crazy, man. So I saw this, man. I saw this. Let me bring this up real quick. This is something I thought was great. I've always liked this brother. He was real thorough, real thorough, in his heyday. Julian Bond. Violence is black children going to school for 12 years and receiving 6 years worth of education. I like that, because that's what's happening now. Black kids are going to school and they're not receiving a proper education. Now, where I think that all starts is at home, because you know damn well whether your kid can read, write, or count adequately. And if you sending them out the door every day, and you know they're not up to par, why you letting them get past? I blame the parents for that. I don't believe in that no child left behind shit. If your kid can't read, count, and write adequately, they ass need to stay back. What's the problem with flunking? Back in the day, kids used to flunk all the time. When I was growing up, kids used to flunk all the time. Now, every kid gets passed through. And then when they get to 12th grade and get that diploma, then y'all be having parties. First y'all do the prom thing. Y'all do proms big. But now y'all got the nerve to have open houses for kids that graduated and they can't read, write, and count. Yeah, I saw y'all here having open houses for kids that I know good and well they can't count. Why are you giving kids money and they can't count the dollars? Somebody took that money from them. Probably only gave them the gift cards. Why y'all letting kids out here exist like that? And I don't put the onus on YCS or AAPS. I put it on the parents. Don't let your kid get passed to another grade and you know they're not up to snuff, because the world is waiting to swallow them up. The world is waiting to swallow them up. Violence is black children going to school for 12 years and receiving 6 years worth of education. Julian Bond. I love the way Brother Julian put that. I love the way he put that. Now, I had a way of putting it myself. And this is the way I put it. Anyone out here repping so-called educators who are pushing kids through the K through 12 system, knowing damn well they can't read, is a bitch-made punk. That's what I say. That's the way I talk. How you out here saluting folks, knowing good and well, I mean, they look just like us, man. They look just like us. How you out here saluting people, look just like us, pushing black kids who look just like us. pushing them through the system, knowing they can't read, write, and count adequately. And you gonna salute them, dog? You gonna salute them? That's why I got problems with people out here. I got problems with people out here that's doing that. Oh, I can't wait to see Susan Basket. I can't wait to see Brian Johnson. You cheese-eating niggas, y'all done did enough out here. Y'all done did way too much out here. Now you gonna bring the Colored People's Organization in? Bring their ass in. I got questions for them, not just about Swift, but I got questions about the Slauson kid and all these other kids that's being marginalized in the Ann Arbor public school system. How come they don't step up for them? Why they stepping up and stepping out now? Bring the Masons, bring the Elks, bring every group you got, bring every old Negro spiritual organization you got to the meeting on Wednesday. Bring they asses. Bring they asses. Y'all fools is crazy out here. You gonna bring in an NAACP on something like this? For a white woman who has underperformed and who's 1 foot out the door? I thought we was talking about white saviorism at the beginning. Now we talking about black saviorism. We talking about black saviorism. Boy, you niggas is something else. You niggas is something else. And
your ass is next.
Yeah. That's the way I see it.
Your ass is next.
So, don't have a whole lot more to talk about. I thought this was actually pretty funny too, because it really kind of break down the situation. A couple of days ago, I talked about the Ypsilanti school, or not, sorry, I'm on the schools, man. When I get to talking about the kids, y'all know how I am, man. Y'all know how I am, man. When I get to talking about the kids, man. A couple of days ago, I went to, I had a stream about the Ypsilanti Township meeting, right? And that Ypsilanti Township meeting, it just reminded me of where I was several years back, 17, 18, and there was some meetings in 19, even after legalization went up, right? And I was trying to explain to the powers of be that be then, the powers that be then. Brother Ryan Hunter, what's good with you? When I went to that township meeting, I thought about some things. I thought about some things. I thought about the meetings that I used to sit over at Park Ridge Community Center talking about cannabis. A couple of them I was actually asked to leave. I was actually asked to leave. And it made me think of this situation here. Made me think of this situation right here, Why in the hell are we letting governments pay their bills with weed money while they have locked up people for trying to pay their bills with weed money? And right now, the crisis that the city of Ypsilanti is in, with a dispensary seeming like it's popping up like every 3 months, right? I know some people think that that's going to be the detriment of Ypsilanti. It's not, though. Dispensaries are not going to be the detriment of Ypsilanti, okay? One, you got to be 21 to get in them. So if anybody is out, buying cannabis and then giving it to minors, I mean, that's a stretch. Because there's way more traditional marketed people out here, people in the street with a bag of weed, that possibly could do that to minors. I would hope not, but I know the real. But this is what happened. When they lost sight of how big the cannabis industry was at the beginning, they didn't want to hear how big the industry was. And I was flowing in it. I had products all over this state. I was flowing in it. And I got gobbled up in that machine. I literally got gobbled up and spat out. Because that's what they do. They didn't want somebody like me from Michigan, true to Michigan, producing my products in Michigan. They wanted the corporate dollars. They didn't want my little dollars. They didn't want my little twos and fews. They want them corporate dollars. And I get it. But that's not what they had set out to do. Because if I had known that that's what they was going to set out to do, I would have never held a clipboard. I would have never went to a petition drive. I would have never held meetings. I used to secure places to have safe meetings around here. Beezy's and other places like that around town to make sure we could have safe spaces to talk. We used to be down at Dominic's. You know, we were at Mo P's. We was in a lot of places around here, man. People, you know, because you needed safe spaces. A lot of people were so paranoid because of the whole, you know, the criminalization and demonizing of cannabis. People were scared to go to places. But this was my area. I'm a villager. This was my village. I was like, man, y'all good here. Like, well, Shannon, when we come in, can we smoke there? I'm like, yeah, man, wherever we go, we're gonna be able to smoke. I'm gonna smoke regardless. And wherever we had meetings, we would smoke. And it wasn't so much the big thing about the smoking part, but it was about being able to be safe and working with people that were from this territory. We was playing home games. But what Michigan decided to do, Michigan's now playing away games. They've decided to let people come into Michigan, set up camp, and they've cut out all the small people, even all the middle-sized people. It's corporate cannabis now. And that's why a lot of people have turned their backs on dispensaries. Now, what's happening in Ipsy is crazy too, because Ipsy's turning into corporate cannabis, but they got Ipsy shops that's worse than the traditional marketed guy. I never thought I'd hear people talk bad about dispensaries like this product ain't shit. That means they allowing them to put stuff on the shelves that your ordinary weed dude ain't got. The weed dudes out here in the streets probably winning better with their product than the people in the dispensaries, because it's not about the product. It's about the money. It's always been about the money, but they masked that. That's what they did. They masked that. And I'm good with it now. You know, I'm good with it now because I don't deal with it on the level that I dealt with it before. And it took a lot for me to get it out of my system. It took a lot. You talking about, you know, some depression type shit. Because when you put your whole mind, body, and spirit into something, and that blood, sweat, and tears comes out in it, it takes a lot for you to get it out your system. And I didn't want to go into nothing new carrying that baggage, carrying that weight. So I had to let myself get cleansed from that. I had to get washed in the blood of cannabis. So it is what it is. But where I'm not washed into understanding Conservawhores. I definitely understand Conservawhores. Oh yes, I do. That's what they are out here. Anybody that basically uses us, they are Conservawhores. They are indeed Conservawhores. And I don't like it. I don't like them, and I'm not gonna let them get by on our watch. Leanne Toohey was a Conservawhore. Sean Toohey was a Conservawhore. Their kids were Conservawhores. Now you got people out here trying to keep a superintendent who has performed less than up to par in and up in public schools. They trying to keep her in. We've got Conservawhores. Ypsilanti Public Schools or Ypsilanti Community Schools, you got a program in place where you got kids graduating at 15 years old and you know they can't read, you know they can't write, you know they can't count. Conservawhores. And when I get to breaking them stats down and showing you the program, you'll get it. But today wasn't the day. Today wasn't the day. We just had to get this blind side thing out. We had to talk a little bit about YCS. We had to talk a little bit about AAPS. You know what I'm saying? We had to do that. Because like Julian Bond said, violence, it's Black children going to school for 12 years and receiving 6 years worth of education. The Villager said, anyone out here repping so-called educators who are pushing kids through the K through 12 system knowing damn well they can't read is a bitch-made punk. I just said it a little bit different than Brother Julian. Brother Julian was an educated brother. I don't have an education. I just know how to talk. And I know how to implement. And I can't wait to see the NAACP, the Nation of Islam, the Masons, the Elks, and every other Black organization come out to support Swift on Wednesday.
Oh yes, it should be quite a shindig. They having it even over at Skyline. Ain't that funny? Ain't that funny? You know I got to come back up for this. Why y'all having the meeting over at Skyline? How come y'all not having a meeting at Pioneer? How come y'all not having a meeting at Huron? Why are you having it at the newest high school? You having it at the newest high school. You having it at the high school that you deem as the best high school. Yeah, I know what they're doing. Y'all having it at Skyline instead of having it at Huron, instead of having it at Pioneer. Well, maybe Skyline is the school that probably has the best stats out of the three right now. Yeah, because, you know, if you got 1 out of 2 kids not reading, writing, and counting adequately in the district, maybe their numbers are a little bit better at Skyline because they got less Black kids, because they got less Latino, Hispanic kids. Eastern Stars, yeah, where the Eastern Stars gonna be there? Yeah, bring all the Black fraternities and sororities there too. I want to see them all there. I got questions for them all. Absolutely. I got questions for them all. Where were you when this happened? Where were you when that happened? Where were you when those things happened? I got questions for you. Y'all want to show up in cape for Janice Swift, but you wouldn't show up for a kid getting called nigger by a teacher? You wouldn't show up for kids getting attacked in school by school employees or contracted employees? But you gonna show up for Janice Swift. You clown ass niggas. And let me apologize to anybody out here who gets offended by that word, because I know all of my Caucasian friends, they get offended by that word. My fault. I know y'all don't like when I use that word around you. I get it. And I know all the people that watch these streams are generally not Black folks. So when we home, I use that word, even though some Black folks don't like that word, I get it. But when we got company, you know, I have to be mindful, and I try to be respectful, but the shit just comes out. And they know not to use that word. All my friends don't use that word. I ain't worried about my friends using that word. Y'all might have friends that use that word. I bet you the word got slung around the Northside picnic yesterday. Cause y'all got people over there at the Northside picnic. Yeah, there's white that y'all let call nigga. I've heard it. And I already told you, let somebody walk up to me. I don't care where you're from, Ann Arbor, Ipsy, whatever, and be Caucasian and say nigga. What up, my nigga? Dog, come on, man. Let's not go there. Let's not go there. Oh yeah. Oh, I know. I mean, most of my friends that are Caucasian, they listen to the same music that we listen to. You know, I done been around them when the lyrics come on, you know, and stuff like that. And hey, around me, they don't say the shit. Now, what they say in that car by themselves, that's their business. I don't know. But I don't have the kind of friends that even say the shit. You know what I'm saying? I don't have the kind of friends even saying it. What do you say? They be saying it at home anyway. Black Magic Mike's like, fuck that. They be saying it. Hey, man, I mean, so, you know, I feel like at some point you fight the battles that are worth fighting. And I'm fighting for kids out here. I'm fighting for these Ipsy kids, just like I'm fighting for the Ann Arbor kids. And I'm generally going to go against power infrastructures because I'm a contrarian. And by popular opinion, people going to go with that. They're going to go with the power. You know what they say? You can't fight City Hall. I get it. You can't fight City Hall. You're right. You can't fight City Hall. But I've been in that mode all my life. I've been in that mode all my life to where I felt like I've had to fight the powers that be. And where I know Ray says, you know, why do you always have to fight every fight? I'm not trying to fight every fight. I'm not trying to be in every fight. That's definitely not what I'm trying to do. But I'm gonna fight the good fight for the right reasons. And if you're not fighting for kids out here, you're not fighting for the right reasons. Somebody's fighting to hold somebody else in position, knowing goddamn well they've had mediocre results at best. Now we've got situations that are happening to kids. How can you look these parents in the eyes How can you look these parents in the eyes, these individual situations that have happened around Ann Arbor, and look them in the eyes and say, you still side with Janice Swift, that you don't side with the kids? That's clown shit, dog. When you do one thing wrong as a black educator, your ass is already put on point. You might get another chance, or you might get fired then. How many chances y'all willing to give Janice Swift? Huh? How many chances y'all willing to give Janice Swift? I can't say it better than Dick. Huh? You might not be able to fight City Hall. The views of Black Magic Mike are not necessarily the views of the villager on deck. I ain't talking about burning no buildings down, bruh. But I understand. But I understand. I know what you're saying. I know what you're saying. So, as we get to the point where I'm about to shut this down, I know a lot of y'all been out here celebrating. And where I told you I can't do it, where I told you I can't be a part of it, hip hop. Hip hop did not start 50 years ago. And that's why I can't celebrate the 50th birthday of hip hop. You know, I can't celebrate the 50th birthday of hip hop. But this meme here has been up for a while. It's been around for a while. I fell in love with hip hop the first time I heard, and people would always put in a song, you know, the song that captivated them, you know, and I've even answered back a certain few. When I seen this, I actually seen this about 3 years ago, I think, maybe 4. I fell in love with hip hop the first time I heard, you know, and truthfully, I have to think about it in reality. See Dolores. Boy, you know, she meant well. She meant well. I kind of got it. She just went about it the wrong way. Her and, what was his name? Calvin Butts. Was it Calvin Butts? See Dolores Tucker and Calvin Butts. So the way I look at it now, and the way they have commercialized the 50th year of hip hop, I'm not with it. I ain't never gonna be with it. It's never gonna be considered 50 years old to me. I believe hip hop was a germination of all the other beautiful musical platforms that we had in genres and whatnot, and it germinated into hip hop. That's the way I feel. We rap started way back before. What's his name? King Hurt, Cool Hurt, whatever his name. Started way back before them, way before the Sugar Hill Gang and all that stuff. You can go back into the 30s and the 40s. When they was rhyming in sync like that. They was rapping back in the day. But in reality, I think the first time that I fell in love with hip hop was the first time that I heard hip hop. And I know that the first song that I heard, the first rap song, it was King Tim III, Fatback, King Tim III. I actually heard that, and it was so different than everything that I had listened to up to that time. I was a kid. I was a kid. I remember listening to it over at my Aunt Pearline and my grandma's house on Woodlawn, and I used to go through all of Kevin and Gail's records. And when they wasn't home, I used to go through their records and stuff and play their records. And they had the 45. They had the 45. I'm literally telling on myself now. Y'all don't, my family don't watch these videos anyway, so it don't matter. But I'm literally telling on myself now. I stole that record. I stole that record from my grandmother's house and took it home. And I used to listen to that record. Let me see if I can find that record. Hold on one quick second. Let me see if I can find that record. Hold on 1 second. I'm actually gonna try to find this record. I'm probably gonna get a strike for it. Even though the song is about damn near 50 years old, they'll still give me a strike for it. Just because they want all the money. YouTube wants all the money. Yeah, they want all the money. And I'm actually gonna play. Let me see, is this it? Yeah, this is it. All right, I don't know if y'all can hear that or not, but I had to cue that up. And like I said, appreciate the likes. I ain't seen no loves today. Obviously, I didn't do a good enough job to get no loves today. Dude, did you see that? They tried to raise the prescription price mid-month. I got to figure out a way to get some music without ads in it, because I can't pay this $10, $10.99 that I'm paying no more. It's hard to come up with $10.99 anymore. I appreciate you, Tria. I'll see you in a little bit. But I can't, yeah, they're trying to raise my $10.99. When they try to go to like $18.99, I sent back an emails like, I can't pay this. As a matter of fact, I was going to try to get the subscription changed over from the Friedman Media account, because I'm about to shut that down. I want to see, that's what I was actually emailing. Man, they sent me a thing talking about they're going to change to $18.99. Man, I'm not paying $20. That's $20. That's theater of mine when they say $18.99. That's theater of mine. That's theater of mine. Yeah. Doing way too much. All y'all doing is allowing me to hear the records without commercials. How you gonna do that? How you gonna charge me for not playing the commercials? I can see it if you wanted to charge me for playing the advertisements. Now I'm paying to not hear the commercials. Now I'm you know what? Hey, I'll be a commercial ass listening person. I am not paying no $20 to listen to commercial free music. Sorry. Let me get this right though, because I don't know if 10 of y'all ever heard this song before. You know I ain't lying, free. I don't know if 10 of y'all heard this song before. I bet you if you have heard it, you probably forgot it. But it's literally the first rap song that I heard. It's the first rap song. Real talk. In one quick second. Okay. I got that. Let me go ahead and cut the music off, because we're going to ride out to this. We're just going to ride out to this. We're going to ride out to this. I'm going to go in and take the strike, because I'm probably not going to say nothing after the song starts. So if they want to mute the rest of the cast out, if they want to mute, you know what? I might come back. I still might come back. Yeah, I might come back. But I just want y'all to hear this song. This is the first rap song that I ever heard, well before I heard Rapper's Delight. For real. Real talk. What you say? Hey, I might have to become a TikToker. I mean, I got an account and all. I don't leave a whole lot of TikToks, but I might have to become a TikToker. Real talk. But before I do that, let me go ahead and drop this on y'all. And this is the first rap song that I literally ever heard.
All right, y'all. Here we go. You just clap your hands and you stomp your feet, because you're listening to the sound of the show shot beat. I'm the K-I-N-G, the G-I-M, King James III, and I am him, just me, Fat, and the crew. We're doing it all just for you. We're strong as an ox and tall as a tree. We can rock it so viciously. We throw the highs in your eyes, the bass in your face. We're the funk machines that rock the human race. Skate down, boogie shot. Come on, girl, let's do the rock. Slam, dunk, do the jerk. Let me see your body work.
This was the shit to me.
To the beat, everybody.
To the beat, everybody.
2, 4, 6, 8. Fatback, don't you hesitate. All the people who like to groove, now the time to let your body move.
Telling you,
Do it to the hip hop.
this is a hell of a song back in the day.
And let it all hang out. Don't keep driving. You got to show what you be about.
Fair use. Fair use. Do it to me. And I'll do it to you. When we got that ding ding dang, the ding dang, I was hooked. I was hooked. Y'all ain't heard that yet. We about to do that. Get a bird. I'm too fat to fly. So this is when it was mostly music. He gonna come back in and rap again.
Do it to me, and I'll do it to you. Say what? Do it to me, and I'll do it to you. Do it to me, and I'll do it to you. Do it to me. To the beat, just keep the same old beat. About a while ago, when I want you to know just who you've been listening to. I am the voice of King Tim III. Tell you what I want you to do. A little left hand, right hand in the air, and you slam like you just don't care. You put the left leg out, the right leg in, say the hustlers out, and the rock is it. About a quarter folks might was at your door when you wondered who it was. You started to shake and shiver, so I said it was me, your little old cuz. I said to open the door, it let me in. I rocked you so good you want it again. I rocked you so good you heard bells ring, they went
Ring ding dang, the ding dang. Ring ding dang, the ding dang.
To the beat, everybody. Do it to me, and I'll do it to you. Come on, do it to me.
Y'all be
And I'll
good.
do it to you. Do it to me, and I'll do it to you. Do it to me, and I'll do it to you. All right. Stomp your feet and you clap your hands, cause you listen to the sound of the Fatback Band. Ain't nothing new in what I do, cause I'm doing it all just for you. I'm hotter than tea, I'm sweeter than honey. I'm not doing it for the money. I'm sugar-coated, double dunk chocolate MC man. I'm sweeter than the almond joy and grandma's sweet old jam. I'm the modified, the rectified, kazinctified, kadootified, kaputified, kadootified, to rock your mind, say all the time. To the beat, everybody, to the beat, everybody. It's on and on and on and on, like hot butter on, say what's the popcorn? Do it to me, and I'll do it to you. Do it to me, and I'll do it to you. Do it to me, and I'll do it to you.
Your ass is next.
Do it to me, and I'll do it to you. Do it to me, and I'll do it to you. Do it to me, and I'll do it to you.
I know it ain't who I think it is.
And I'll do it to you. Do it to me, and I'll do it to you. Do it to me, I'll do it to you. Do it to me, and I'll do it to you. Do it to me. To the beat, everybody. You keep the pep and the step, the hip in your heart. You don't stop till you get on the mountaintop. Once you reach the top, you won't be alone. You got King Jim on the microphone. Just grab your partner, you start to swing, cause I'm well known just like Burger King. I don't sell burgers, whole french fries. partners around and round and grab her by the butt and boogie it down. Just open up a jacket and open a bra and then just like at the Mardi Gras. I'm the man of action, the main attraction. The girls call me the satisfaction. I'm the Romeo, the Casanova. Here tonight, I'm going to get over to the beat. Everybody.
So I didn't end the stream, and then I get a comment here. So let me see what this brother said. Vicky Shields, I can get what you're saying. It's a bit well. Do you think you've painted a wide swath? There's nothing in between. I would totally accept everything you're saying only if the field of play were leveled financially, institutionally, without corruption, without police infractions, hidden groups within groups, and rip out anything in the Constitution that doesn't make Black people equal to everybody else. Then I would accept everything you have to say. Unfortunately, for some reason, it cut off your comment there, brother. So until then, yes, indeed, we might take your story seriously about being Robin Hood. I'm not sure exactly who's trying to be Robin Hood. And the fact that you showed up with the Barack Obama profile pitch, bro. Let's not go there. Let's not start there. Let's end this amicably. Shall we?
You know, this revolution is filled with so many ironies, really. First, you tell us that it is manly to keep your word, right? If you are a man, you keep your word. And now all of the Black people in this country are demanding, and even the Black people in the whole world are demanding, is that you keep your word. You told us we were free. Well, then show us that we're free. You told us that there is justice, equality for all in this country. Well, then stick to your word and let us see the justice and equality for all. Or else admit to us that you're not a man, you're a bird, you're afraid of us, you're afraid to give us equal stand. You're afraid that if you give us equal ground, that we will match you and we will override you.
I was too.
Your ass is next.
He almost got it, but I got to get out of here. Peace, y'all.